Welcome back to the Triple Option here on 365 Sports. Paul Catalina, my good friend Stephen Simcox. We need to do a Paul and Smokey. We'll allow Smokey in the coaching tree because I'm on his coaching tree.
Okay.
So, we're the same tree, but we need to do that tree one day and see what it's got.
Diagram it on the board.
Yeah, diagram it on the board, see where we've got.
I really appreciated in the break there, producer Jack, you just ask him, his name's not producer Jack. His parents did not name him producer.
Yeah. No.
Producer Jack.
Have you seen my driver's license?
Sorry. Jackson witness protection. I just outed him. But Paul was like, is Stephen good or bad? And he said good. And I think you guys should just start doing a series where maybe it's after games, after every college football game, rate this team, and he just says good or bad, and that's it. Yeah. It's just a 2-second video.
Yeah. LSU, Jack, good or bad?
Bad.
Yeah. There we go. TCU, good or bad?
Bad.
Yeah.
He hesitated for a second, but he got there.
Yeah.
That's the kind of decisiveness you want.
There are inflections here. It's more than just good or bad. Come on.
Yeah. So before we get to know you, Stephen, we talked so much about Dion in that segment because we're a new podcast and we've got to get attention.
Yeah. Everybody else is using him.
Yeah.
Why not the triple option?
Come on. I mean, look, am I too proud to say that we might be, riding the wave? Yes. But this whole channel is built on realignment. So I can't.
We all got to have our niche, man.
So anyway, I want your perspective on TCU, which is, again, that's a roster built now out of the transfer portal. Offense, almost completely, really. Chandler Morris is a transfer. The wide receivers are all transfers. And the offense is good. The defense had to deal with Colorado's offense, which was mad at TCU's offensive coordinator.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, apparently that was a big thing.
Yeah, Kendall's kind of hit the bingo card of bad PR for TCU since he got there. Not all his fault, but
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, of all the people you're going to cold shoulder to camp, Deion Sanders' kid.
Shadur Sanders seems like a guy you should know.
Yeah, just even if you're not going to offer him or he's not interested, just
shake his hand, say hello.
Just say hello, coach him up a little bit, give him some tips. Don't give that kid and his extremely famous father any reason to be like, hey.
Yeah. Don't end up in the Shadur Sanders Last Dance documentary that's coming out in a few years because you just couldn't take the time to say hello.
That also started Deion down the path of being mad at his technical alma mater. That was one of the things that fueled
rubbed him the wrong way.
That fueled that more than him not getting the job. Him not getting the job, I think he can probably understand a little bit. They couldn't wait around the 4 months it was going to take him to finish.
Right.
And then they also said you need a coach because they've got to sell it to the money people. But from TCU's perspective, I'm not worried about their season when it comes to the Big 12, but I do think one of the things last year they were doing really well was clamp down on defense when they had to. I wonder if that is a bigger issue than having a bunch of new players on offense.
Well, people have definitely figured out, and it sort of started in the second half of that Michigan game, that and there's a lot of the same players on this defense, if you isolate these linebackers and safeties in space, it's really hard for them to keep up. And Joe Gillespie, their defense coordinator, is not a guy that brings a lot of pressure. So they have to find a way to address that. I think they'll be okay too. I just wonder, they're sort of at a crossroads where it's okay, what's the next step? What are they going to be? Are they a team that with everything shifting around them, which a year ago, it felt like they were one of those mini schools that was all right, new Big 12, they'll have a chance to be one of the standard bearers, one of the, powers, one of the teams that are just consistently in the mix. But now with everybody else that's been added, it's a little trickier. You talk about Utah and the Arizona schools and all that. But what are expectations like? Because there's an older guard of TCU fans who remember a lot of the lean years, right? And they're like, well, if they're a 8-4 football team that occasionally can jump up and make a run like they did last season, that'd be fantastic. And then I think there's some newer fans that are like, well, as long as I've been around, I've expected national, at least being in the national conversation. But I think as far as this year goes, yeah, they'll be okay. I feel like the offense is good, and it's going to get better. Defensively, surely they can figure some things out just to, stay in games and improve there. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty dumbfounded. Sonny Dykes said after the game that he just didn't think the guys were ready to play, and he thought Colorado was more excited about it. They're more motivated, which I get why Colorado would be excited. It was a huge chance for them on the national stage, and I know Dion had them playing with a lot of confidence. But your last game, you just lost 65-7 in the national championship. You've heard all offseason that you probably were just a fluke and like things are going to regress back to the mean. In the opening game of the season, I understand why, but everybody was talking about Colorado. Like Big Noon Kickoff was there in Fort Worth, and it was a Dion infomercial because of all the attention that he commands. And so, why would you not come out with a chip on your shoulder like, let's rally this group and let's get it done? So I guess the thing is now, how do you respond? Like, because Paul, like things can unravel quickly with the college football team if losses start piling up. So do you get off the mat and like rally together and get this thing moving in the right direction? Or is this a team that maybe just falls below expectations from the beginning? I lean towards the first answer. I think they're going to improve and get better, but it was pretty remarkable that they, just looked completely confused and listless against that Colorado team.
Yeah, and we'll see. The Big 12 is interesting. Okay, here's the coaches you have coming in, and I'm including this year as well. You have Gus Malzahn, who's coached a national title game.
Yes.
And coordinated and won as well. So you have Deion Sanders and you have Kyle Whittingham. And I'm not even throwing in Kenny Dillingham, who I think is going to be a stud head coach very quickly.
Yeah. Dana's been around Dana Holgers has been around forever.
Yeah. Kalani Sitake is a very steady Eddie head coach. They're BYU's kind of continue to be BYU no matter where they play. So you've got those guys just coming in, and in a conference that's going to be totally wide open, right? And yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I do think like the Big 12 is hoping that Dion stays a really long time and becomes a staple in the league. I don't think that you can plan on it because again, like who's to say that there's a bigger school that's not going to say like, please come do that here.
Right. I mean, you would imagine like whatever SEC opening it is soon that is available, they'd have heavy interest in him.
Here's the deal. I just hope that he's not mad enough at his alma mater to do something that would just truly disgust me.
Oh, yeah. Him in the blue and orange would be pretty rough.
It would be hard for me to deal with.
I know. But he also, he doesn't seem like somebody who's just like Dion doesn't seem like the type of guy that'd be like, no, I could never do that. No, I think if everything lined up right, he would be like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. This is a dude who has one of his own quotes on the wall behind him for Zoom interviews. You seen that? Like he's doing Zooms this week.
Is that bad? I do that too. Is that why I'm not?
Yeah.
Is that why I'm not getting opportunities?
But it's not like there's not like a Teddy Roosevelt or like Martin Luther King quote or anything behind him. It's his own quote.
Deion Sanders.
Yeah. You look good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. Like that's his quote.
That's a good quote.
It's a great quote.
I got to give it to him.
And that's all about branding. But again,
it doesn't make you look like the most humble person in the world.
Look, if I just put behind me, if it feels good, do it. And if it do good, feel it. You'd be like,
I think that would really enhance the show. Yeah. Right next to the Hawaii pennant right there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to start I would make sure I get good quotes and be like, put that might go on the wall behind us. That's what we're going to do. Quotes, things I say often and believe in truly.
Yeah, just have Garrett start writing things down for you.
But days will change the world.
Write that down.
Write it down. Yeah, that's what I need to do. But yeah, has his own thing behind us. It's a little bit different. All right, we're going to get to know you, Stephen, here.
I love this.
Still trying to find the proper highway of this segment, but we're going to keep doing it because I think it's fun. It entertains me. And so
that's all that matters.
It's my podcast. So
it entertains me. Write that down, Garrett. That's a good quote to have.
Another one for the wall. It entertains me. It's my podcast. There's another one. I want to get to know you like a deeper level, not like, who you are, what you do. Like that's, platitudes.
Right.
This is real hard hitting stuff.
This is like inside the actor studio. That
Yes,
last segment.
exactly.
That's a pretty
Maybe
niche.
I need to get a stack of blue cards and just rip off that bit.
Yeah, not sure all the college football people are getting that reference, but we'll roll with it.
Look, James Lipton's dead. He can't stop me. So,
Is the James Lipton State watching a lot of college football podcasts?
I don't know. Okay. Which college football player do you wish had infinite eligibility?
Oh man, what a great question. Well, the first one that popped in my head is not a great person, so I think I'll skip that guy.
Okay.
I'll say it's recency bias, but I'll say Max Duggan.
Okay, look. Transformative player for TCU.
He was.
Yeah.
And I mean, like sometimes you get caught up in the cliche stuff and all the lunch pail
But it's true.
sort of words, but it was true with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he did look like a person that might literally give up his life for the team.
The only reason they didn't beat Kansas State, in my opinion, last year was because he was just too tired.
He was just exhausted.
He was just exhausted, and they needed like that 1% more that he was totally willing to give, but physically didn't have it in that moment because that's what was working in that moment. If it was just hurl the ball up to Quentin Johnston, then that's a different thing. But that was what was working in that moment. So
well, and even his first few years of his career, when it seemed like the offensive staff's job was just how can we limit him the most?
Yeah.
Like it seems like that was what they were trying to do.
I think part of that was because he was very immature.
Yeah.
Emotionally immature. He would let his emotions get the best of him because he was such a fiery dude. And then it didn't help that the head coach is like also someone whose biggest weakness is letting his emotions get the best of him. So when Gary Patterson tells you like, look, man, you got to chill out. It falls on deaf ears.
It doesn't exactly calm you down. No, that's true.
Because Gary Patterson, even as a guy who pretends to like wear a Hawaiian shirt and play a guitar, is the least chill, is the least chill barroom guitarist in the history of the world. It's just his nature.
Yeah.
So I think that Sonny Dykes, who saves his intensity for essentially yelling at referees,
Right.
all the rest of it is, a relaxed guy.
Yeah. It was a good mix.
Yeah.
But Max,
I think he helped bring Max down to that harness that power and use it for good, as opposed to just like, hey, go give 110%, and then when he comes back, give 110%. You're like, well, maybe 100.
Right.
Let's
we can scale it back.
we can scale it back.
No, but Max was great. He always was just really high on the intangible stuff. It's fun to watch him play.
Okay. You're a firefighter. You've probably seen me ask Chris this question.
I have.
Okay. You're a firefighter. In one room by himself is Max Duggan.
Okay.
In the other room is LaDainian Tomlinson, TCU legend.
Oh, wow.
And the entire cast of Ocean's 11. That means Clooney, Pitt, Andy Garcia, Don Cheadle, Elliot Gould, Julia Roberts, Scott Kahn. You can only go in one door and save one room. Are you saving Max Duggan by himself or LaDainian Tomlinson
And the entire cast
and
of
the
Ocean's
entire
11.
cast of Ocean's 11?
Wow. What a tough predicament. I feel like I could go to Max and just explain the situation to him, and he'd be like, yeah, I get it. He'd be like, I love you, man.
You're on your way. Like, you can fight your way out of this building if you want.
But have you ever had dinner with LT and Julia Roberts? That sound like a good time to you?
Yeah.
And he might be like, who are those people? Because he's like 22 years old, but he would know LT.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'd save the cast of Ocean's 11 because what if they want to do Ocean's 14?
Yeah.
I can't
I mean, a
keep
lot of
that
them
from
are
the
dead
people.
now, but
Yeah, that was a downer, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll go that route though.
Yeah, okay. Good deal. All right. Yeah, because we have Bernie Mac and, Carl Reiner not with us anymore. So I say a lot. That's two. But two key pieces to the puzzle, for sure. Okay. What is a product that you would be the perfect pitchman for?
Like a product, like a household product, or just anything?
Something like anything. Like, like what are you, like, it could be, look, we could try to get you some, like, we get some advertising dollars here. If there's a company that you really, stand for, let's.
Yeah. I mean, like, my first thought was just food.
Food?
Just like, just.
Like, it's a specific thing. Like, mine, like I told Chris last week, would be bidets and Japanese toilets. I think they're going to change the world if people can get on board. Believe me, I have them at all 3 bathrooms in my house. So they need to be in hotels. I don't know why they're not. Let's get this done.
I would be perfect for, I don't even know how
Chris
to
was chips and salsa, even picked out a couple brands.
Oh, chips and salsa. Yeah, that's good. I'd just say like ice cream, but not even, I mean, people talk about Bluebell like it saved their life all the time. And like Bluebell's fine. It's ice cream, right? Yeah. It's good. But I think even just like HEB, Creamy Creations
that they
brand
have is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go that route.
Yeah.
Just ice cream in general.
You a gelato guy?
No, not really. I'm also not a frozen yogurt person.
Okay.
It's just like.
So you would be out there like if there was a lobby.
Yeah.
Like you would be like, listen, this frozen yogurt places have gotten too prevalent.
You don't
Let's go back to real old school ice cream.
You don't want fake ice cream with gummy bears on it. You're not 4 years old. Like just go get ice cream, real ice cream.
It's got to be scooped.
Yes.
Not
in a waffle cone.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay, that's good. Like if I'll alert the ice cream lobby. I'm sure they're huge. Yeah. I'm sure that there's
a product that nobody wants to promote.
Yeah, they're probably huge because they get all this free ice cream. They're just a bunch of really
just large people.
Yeah. Calling up like, you guys, frozen yogurt's bad. So, I know. Okay. Which college football venue that you have not been to would you love to experience?
There's a lot because I haven't been to a ton of road environments. I would like to go to LSU. I'll go with Garrett. We'll have a good time there.
Yeah.
I remember LSU played TCU at Cowboy Stadium when I was in school, and I was just shocked at how like immediately antagonistic those people were. Like you would walk in an LSU tailgate, you wouldn't even say anything, and they would immediately just start yelling "Tiger Bait" at you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I haven't done anything.
You wore that shirt.
I'm just wearing a different. I'm wearing a different shade of purple.
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're like, what do you mean you didn't do anything? You're the one who came into your LSU. I went one time, and it's like simultaneously friendly and enemy territory at the same time. Like, how dare you wear that shirt? Would you like some of this food? Here, have a drink.
Was it a Florida State game, or were you just there watching a
I just went to a random LSU game with my dad. A friend of his had, and they weren't playing. They were playing like Southeast Louisiana at the time. It was one of those things like, hey, we can go, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And it was FSU's bye week, as a matter of fact, and so we met. I met him in Baton Rouge, and we went, and it was like walking around. I was wearing neutral. I wasn't even wearing FSU stuff. I was just wearing a shirt.
You're just a human existing.
Just a guy walking around, and people are like, hey, F you, buddy. And they're like, oh, hey, come on over here. Have some of this.
Gumbo.
This punch right here is really good. It's going to want to make you take your shoes off like right away. Yeah. It's so strong. But, like that was, it's so weird. It is. It is a crazy place. Look, and as much as as an FSU fan, I'll tell you, I've been at Clemson one time. And Clemson wasn't quite that good. It's Tommy Bowden era. They were good. Great atmosphere there. Florida has a great atmosphere.
I'm proud of you for saying that.
Oklahoma's great. There's a lot of really great ones.
There's good ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just all around the country too. I mean, it's really, there's no other sport like it where you can go just about anywhere and find pockets of really passionate fan bases.
Yeah, I've got to experience a lot of them. I was not disappointed in Tuscaloosa. The game I went to, A&M, got just absolutely boat raced, and I was with 2 Aggies and my mom. My uncle, my dad, and my mom, and it was just the most depressing day ever.
Yeah.
But they were so good. It was like they were just bored. They're like, oh.
Another regular season game.
We're full now.
Yeah, we gotta do this again.
Please bring something more satisfying. That was. I'm sorry, Texas A&M. I know you beat us a year ago, but
Right.
that was undercooked.
Yeah.
So it was that was kind of the attitude I got. Now, granted, if it was LSU or Tennessee or somebody, I'm sure that no matter what, they're ravenous. But
Yeah.
that's one. All right, I was trying not to go to the phone, but I got to go to
Oh,
the
no,
list
that's
of
fine.
questions. I got to go to the list of questions here. Okay.
The suspense makes it better.
Okay. UFOs, ghosts, or Bigfoot? Which one do you hope is real?
I'd say Bigfoot, just because I feel like he'd probably be pretty chill about it.
Not all in your face like a ghost.
Yeah, I mean, ghosts, like, I think they're just naturally going to haunt people.
Here's the thing. If Bigfoot's real, I don't have to help him cross over to the other side.
That's true.
I just have to leave him alone.
Yeah, just stay out of his face.
Yeah. Like, I don't, like a ghost is haunting me. Like, the only way for me to get rid of it is to, like,
Right.
Find his, like, hidden dead body or who killed him or,
Yeah.
take
It's like
some sort of amulet to the top of a mountain. I don't know.
Right. It's like when you see a video of somebody getting attacked by a bear and you're like, why are you in the bear's space? Like, just leave.
Yeah.
Like, just leave. I think
like when you're camping and a bear attacks you, you broke into his house.
you're in
He
his
didn't
house.
break
Yeah.
into yours.
He's not at your condo.
Yeah, he didn't go. It's not like when those like really scary videos of like bears like walking into people's houses while they're gone. Like that would terrify me. That's when the bear's wrong. But when you've built a fire in his living room, you're probably,
Right.
and then you brought him food, which you didn't share with him. So now,
Yeah, I think the alien thing would just, like, even if the aliens were cool, which also, again, like, all the movies are like the aliens are going to take over, but we don't know. Maybe they just want to hang out. But I feel
have you
like,
ever thought that they've come here and been like, no,
yeah.
no, we don't.
Yeah, we got better technology.
But they go back and they're like, what'd you guys think of Earth? They're like, 0 stars.
Those people must be depressed.
0 stars. They like really just like they get
Yeah.
so excited about the dumbest things.
Right. I think just the existence of aliens would shake me a lot more. Just like my general outlook on life. Bigfoot would kind of be like, yeah, I could see just a big hairy person living somewhere. That would make more sense to me.
Like, what if they came in 2020 and we're like, this is the time we're going to be there, and they're like, hey, everybody's sick and they're watching this show called Tiger King, and we don't want a part of it. Yeah. We don't like. What's Tiger King? You don't want to know. You don't really want to know at all. All right. Well, I'm going to take you off the hot seat because I really want to talk about Dabo Sweeney.
Okay.
That's coming up next. This is the Triple Option of 365 Sports.